Oh man, oh man. Uh, well, welcome to another edition of the Government Cheese Party. I am the main man, Psycho J, alongside with you, CJ and Dave, the headache. We apologize for
What's
our
up?
late. Well, can I say late? Pretty much like a day late. I
Week
think,
late.
yeah, pretty much. We had a lot of stuff that we had to get our ducks in a row. We have we've been kind of testing out this StreamYard stuff. Still kind of working out the kinks on it. So still trying to figure out how those things are working. But we also do have some good ideas as well too that's coming up through the pipeline for the government cheese party as well. Um, for uh, for a lot of some of our listeners as well. We're going to have some varieties coming up here pretty soon. Here Goes Marriage podcast will be on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We hadn't quite came up with a date just yet of when some of those will be coming out. But we were going to have a lot of fun with CJ and myself. We're going to be doing that one. Looking forward to a lot of uh, educating stuff and a lot of spiritual stuff as well on top of that podcast. So you will be getting some of those episodes on this YouTube channel feed as well. We also locked up for a haunted sites um, podcast as well too with me and CJ. Couple of things that we looking forward to in the next couple of things for those sites.
And I'm looking for that to be a reaction type of situation for the paranormal. So we're going to be reacting to stuff that is out there when it comes to the site. So
Yeah.
be prepared to watch some stuff that might be a little creepy if you want to come and join us.
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah. So hopefully we will be start doing those on Mondays as well. So a couple of brand new things that's going to be coming through for the government cheese party. Certain varieties of, like I told you guys before, certain varieties of things that we want to, expand the horizons on certain things, and those are also coming up through the pipeline. The 10 Count podcast will be back next week to get ready for the Charlo and Canelo fight that's going to be coming up on September 30th. So we will be starting back up with that gear on that as well. Um, like I said, a lot to get to today. A lot of things that we definitely do. I hope everyone is enjoying their Labor Day weekend. I know everyone is off on this what 3 day weekend, pretty much having a little blast. Not going to work on Mondays. I know everyone hates to go on work on Mondays. I know I do.
You know what's worse than going to work on Mondays?
What?
Going to work on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's
On,
it.
on, on Wednesdays and Thursdays
Yeah.
and Fridays.
Straight up.
Yeah, straight up.
I second that motion.
Yeah.
Um, so this was brought to our attention last night. Something that I was kind of, I kind of me and Dave kind of was just like, oh wait, what happened? And it revolved around Barack Obama's chef. And I don't know how we did not how we did not see this until now. And I was just like, wait, what the hell happened? So to give you guys the backstory, um, Barack Obama's chef, CJ, I don't know if you had that pulled up or not, but he was mysterious. Well, a lot of people are saying mysteriously murdered as he was out in sea. I guess was he paddleboarding? I think it
Yeah,
was.
he was paddleboarding in Martha's vineyard.
Yeah. So a lot of people has a lot of conspiracy theories over the past couple of weeks. And I think this story was, I think, August 23rd.
Yeah, I mean, I heard like different things about the fact that one group of people said that he couldn't swim. And then you had a group of people that then you have video of him physically swimming in a swimming pool. And then you have also when they did, like, I guess under the circumstances, he had no head trauma, nothing that says or leads to why he would just fall in the water and drown in 8 feet of water. And why it took so long for them to come to try to find him. So there's a lot of things that kind of that look kind of suspicious, but again, there's no footage that I've seen so far that has given us any closure on any of those topics or situations.
Right. So I have this pulled up. Let's pretty much hear this one.
This morning, tragedy near former President Obama's vacation home on Martha's Vineyard after the family's longtime personal chef and friend, Tafari Campbell, was found dead 100 feet from shore.
For a 40-year-old male, possible drowning. Control to Eggertown Fire Water Rescue personnel.
The grim discovery Monday morning followed an hours-long search and rescue effort involving divers, boats, and helicopters that began the night before. Officials got word an adult male went missing after another paddleboarder saw he had gone into the water, appeared to briefly struggle to stay on the surface, and then submerged and did not resurface. It happened in the Eggertown Great Pond, with parts 8 feet deep.
It's on a paddleboard, no life preserver. This is last seen wearing all black. They have not had eye contact on him.
The 45-year-old who had been visiting the island was married with twin sons, his wife posting that she was, quote, heartbroken yesterday. Campbell had posted videos of himself practicing swimming on social media several years ago. He served as a personal employee of President Obama for years. The pair first met when Campbell worked as a talented sous chef at the White House.
Keep on going with it. You should have got.
Oh, what?
It closes out with some stuff that about the that whole video is worth listening to.
Oh, okay. I seen you move your hand. And
no, I was telling you that was
okay.
All right. That's okay.
So,
miss signal. I'm sorry. My hand sometimes I'm thinking of other things, like I'm looking at your drink and wanting something to drink. You know, my brain. What's on CJ's mind? Right.
Right. Yeah. So, so again, it's a lot of weird conundrums going on in that, because one story is sitting there saying it's 8 feet deep, but he posted online that he actually is doing swimming lessons,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks in the video like it looks like what I'm saying it looked like he wasn't struggling to do that
Right.
in the video, but I don't know.
Sound like to me, dude tried something new and failed horribly, and that was basically how that ended.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
that's what it sounds like.
I mean, I would love to sit here and pretend like there's conspiracy here, but I don't even sound. It sound like he tried to go swimming out and doing some paddleboard and didn't have a board with him for some reason, and then drowned. I mean, that's what happens when you're in water and you don't make it to the top so you can breathe. You tend to stop breathing under there. You know what I mean?
That's how it tends to go. But
you spend too much time underwater, you're gonna find yourself without air.
Well, I mean,
Confucius told me that.
Really?
Yeah, it's a proverb.
But but again, like I said, other people want to pretty much come up with conspiracies, things that he did, and it's always some type of conspiracy that falls back on certain things, whether we know or not. I don't know. This is a whole part of what makes really people paranoid sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Is because they always think that it's something greater than what it
Yeah.
necessarily has to be
Yeah.
sometimes.
You love putting that little extra stank on the bullshit, you know.
Yeah. And look, man, I'm not.
Hey, first, I was just say this. Rest in peace to the brother. He didn't
Oh,
deserve,
Oh, yeah.
to go like that, I'm sure.
For sure.
But with that being said, I don't think he. I have a hard time believing that he was part of some sort of conspiracy to, to hide some sort of truth that only he, being the chef of a former president, could I don't know, the expose, I guess.
It's hard.
It's sad, and that's really all it is. It's sad, and but no, I don't.
It is.
I reject this, the idea of trying to create something that's not there.
Yeah, and a lot of the blame for me goes to pretty much Donald Trump for pretty much like just enhancing, the
It's Trump's fault.
Yeah. But
Thanks, Donald Trump. Full circle.
Full circle. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I feel like some of the stuff is like, I think they do need to answer some of those questions, though. I'm not saying that like for his wife's sake, anyways, to kind of know what happened.
What question?
Like the question of the fact that how did he just fall off how did he fall off the paddleboard, and why it takes so long for them to come get him? When somebody was there to witness him fall off the paddleboard.
They was on a lake, right? They was in a lake.
Yeah, they were
Martha's
like 100.
Vineyard,
They were 100 feet maybe off of the side of the lake or the vineyard. Yeah.
Okay.
The way they were explaining it, but
you don't
somebody else with them.
You don't typically see lifeguards on lakes.
Typically, yeah, right. So, but yeah. They do have and that's only for me growing up around in Michigan, and some of the bigger ones or the most popular ones, they do have like the security and the people that run the area. Right. So like they do have people that are supposed to be trained to be able to spot stuff like that. And if he had somebody with him, you get what I'm saying, that immediately approached. Because I mean, from what they were explaining, she immediately came, but it took them several hours to find him in the water. So why is it that it took them so long, and why weren't they prepared or planned for stuff like that? I mean, and the fact that this is not the first time it's happened,
right?
So it's questions. I mean, more so of closure for his wife, even if it was just a tragic accident.
Right.
Yep. And
which, by the way, I believe it's a tragic accident too. Right. So like, I think he just really he probably was just like you said, trying something new, not knowing what he was really doing. He was trying to get out there and be adventurous. And
so just a seamlessly transition into this one. I have been kind of sort of.
That's not the way you make a seamless transition.
It's really not. But
announce that it's seamless. Hey, this is seamless, guys. Watch this.
Yeah, watch this. Move my fingers and do the spear finger move of, hey, watch this. Majestic.
You won't even know that we're changing the subject as I'm telling you that we're changing the subject.
What an a-hole. But okay, so I've been kind of sort of keeping up with this whole Donald Trump indictment in Georgia.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of the stuff they're looking at the whole RICO situation on that, and it was they have I think pretty much charged the people with the tampering with federal evidence when it comes to the voting and stuff like that. He's talking about 11,000 something counts that didn't count towards him +1 or something like that. He was saying,
well.
It was a lot of bullshit.
It was a lot.
It's a lot of mumble bullshit to me. It feels like, but yeah.
So another piece of the thing that I had stumbled across was that he was also selling classified documents to other countries
Was he?
Yeah.
Was he? I mean, okay, so I mean, they did that when about like wasn't it Russia or something like that?
There was
That something about
that
that.
was when he was in office. There was
Yeah,
rumblings of
yeah.
that.
So I wonder if I mean I don't know because like it was said. It was said like when he was in office about the Russia thing. So is that something that's a reoccurrence to what they were thinking then? I don't know. I don't know because I still don't not believe that he didn't do it.
Right.
So I
And
don't
see,
know.
that's where I kind of am like questioning it in a way because it's like, okay, you said this while he was in office. So how long did you know about this?
Well, I mean, who's saying? I mean, where's this come from?
Right.
I
Now,
mean,
this was coming from, I want to say ABC News,
I know Washington
because
Post said something about it too. So like it's a
yeah,
couple of them.
but it
Yeah.
was like I said, it was within the present uh, while he was in office. It was there.
right.
Yeah.
Now, I
It's a
I-
process to all of it.
now
So it's
maybe
certain-
I can look it up and see if I can find it. But
Right.
yeah, it was talked about then, but
Right.
everybody kind of brushed it off like, oh well.
it takes time
Well,
to find evidence for I mean,
yeah.
if you've ever been to school for anything that's like CJ related, law related, anything like that. I mean, it could take upwards to almost a year to 3 years to get some information when it comes to somebody of the standard or the statute that he stands in. So it's one of those things that you want to make sure you're correct before you go and jump and make allegations.
Well,
in other
and
words.
it's also why if you're going to be a good journalist, you won't do it exactly that and just
Right.
start talking bullshit and have people
Right.
thinking something. Because from where I'm sitting, I'm not a Donald Trump fan, but I mean, how the hell am I supposed to stand on that shit? You know what I mean? Like, oh, hey, they Washington Post said.
Right.
But okay, well, where's the evidence? Where's this? Oh, we don't got it yet. Why
Well,
the fuck did you say something?
There
to me then?
is documents in court like court cases that are actually and they're dated about 3 years back. So like they have I can go and look it up. I have to go back to this because I was actually listening to some like court dockets and stuff like that earlier
Right.
today. That's like one of my interests, y'all. If y'all didn't know, like that was one of the things I wanted to go to college for is law. So
Right.
she was reading and like I mean verbatim, like she had the paper printed out of verbatim what everybody was saying with Ben and all them, like just kind of having a conversation about stuff and what this is what he's being indicted for in Georgia at this moment
Okay.
because of what was said in that conversation.
Pretty much. But,
So
but
yeah,
you know,
and the RICO is what pretty much brought up from that, and we don't know. He's only really looking at 5 years of prison time, and with him being in again the statute that he's in being the ex-president or the one of the presidents of the United States, he's probably going to get house arrest. You know what I'm saying? Like they're
Right.
not going to put him in a prison with everyday people.
even though they should, but
I mean, I feel like they should most definitely, but because I feel like they don't learn lessons by being okay. I get to just stay in my house and just can't leave out of my house. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
yeah.
It doesn't seem valid for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, some of the stuff can be murky. Some of the stuff can be,
Right. I don't believe
plausible.
everything that he did was that they're talking about is something that should have been. They're really pulling out stuff that just is like petty. That's
Right.
being petty. A lot of it. I feel like.
Yeah.
Well, at some point, if they're gonna have a serious indictment or serious case, then they need to come up with some sort of solid evidence of something actually being done. I mean, because I think it's what bothers me about all of it is that we live in this artificial world where everybody where they make you believe something's going on when it's not, but then you have somebody like Trump who talks about fake news and stuff like that, which he's on a whole other side with it. He's on the extreme side of all that shit.
Right. We're just validating.
Yeah, and then you validating the stupid shit that he says, by doing stupid shit like Well, I don't know if this is stupid or but right now I don't see any reason to even take it serious. You know what I mean? Like I literally don't even fucking pay attention until I hear, okay, hey, this actually happened. Oh, word. Oh, wow.
Right.
Okay, now so but I'm not, I'm not even convinced that he's not going to be president again. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't see a clear distinction that this person is ineligible to carry on as he's been doing.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, and
Right. Because I mean, he
like
could get
it-
all these crazy things. He gets sorry, Psycho J. Go ahead. What was you saying?
No, I was just
'Cause
I
I can
kind of
say it
agree with
afterwards.
that point because it was just like, well, it's not like really a clear cut. Hey, that's that guy. Like,
right.
no, it's a bunch of.
Fluff.
It seems like
Bunch of fluff.
a whole bunch of Republicans just going at each other and really not solving anything, which clearly
It's been the
It's-
last 100 years.
yeah, pretty much. So it's just like, is there a really clear cut? Not really. No.
It's stupid.
It's just a bunch of hot
You know,
air.
yeah, that's all it is. I mean,
The fact is that they're going through all this, and the man can still run to be president. Okay, so
yeah.
let me just say, like, one of the things that if we do anything, you guys, anything at all in this fight, is to fight that if you get any form of charges when it comes to doing anything that's wrong within office, when you're outside of office, you should not be able to run for president. Like, I
Right.
mean, that's just period. Like, I feel like that law needs to change.
Yeah.
Yep. And ain't that the truth? Because they ain't gonna change.
Hey, you just got hit in the face with the Government Cheese Party podcast crew.
And now it's off the rails with Dave the Headache on the GCP podcast.
Just put on repeat. That'd be the whole segment. Just put that on repeat. Hey, where's Beige at? What the fuck happened to that guy?
Doing beige things.
Oh, well, he's probably doing something frilly.
He's probably
Frolicking.
gaming.
He's frolicking somewhere.
He's frolicking somewhere.
he's somewhere frolicking.
He's
All right.
probably gaming somewhere.
So yeah, I want to take some time and really get down to business on a subject, and I think it's a subject that mostly just affects America. The rest of the world, I think, I don't think not so much, but definitely in America, in the United States of this here country, our brother man and lady man's and lady women's and brother women's. What we need we need to
Hold on, we gotta stop on that one. What?
that's America, bitch.
All righty then.
That's America now.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck it, that's America. So my issue our issue that we all need to really sit down and really try to find some sort of solution to is we as Americans, as United States citizens, this country has fallen into an epidemic. You know what I mean? Like, this is not any type of America that other generations, I think, are used to seeing. You know, I mean, you know, at some point, you know, instead of having like social fight, bickering and all that shit. Where is the fucking who's getting their ass whooped in America now? And the question is, well, the answer is nobody. Nobody who deserves an ass whooping is getting an ass whooping, man. Like,
What are you talking about? Like kids in general?
I'm talking
Like,
about everybody, man. I'm talking about people who need it.
No.
Women, children, boys, men, girls, lady girls, men, girls. I go through it again if I have to. But there's plenty of people. I mean, there's always people who need to get their ass whooped. In every generation, at every time in American history, there's someone who's needing to get their ass whipped, just beat the fuck up, and we're not seeing that shit. And it's I think what we need to do is we need to figure out who we need to target. You know, I mean, people talk about hate speech and all that stuff. It has nothing to do with about hate. It's about correcting the issues, correcting the issues that put us all in situations that none of us want to be in. I had a conversation at work with a buddy of mine, a coworker of mine, and it was a good conversation as usual. Got a little heated, and but the point in the conversation that is that relates to what I'm saying right now is that I hold the position that obnoxiousness is an act of what was the word? Not what does it mean when you ask somebody something? You know, you like you're suggesting something, right? It's an act of suggesting that you want an ass whooping, like you want violence. You know what I mean? I think that's human nature. I think that's nature in general. There are so many old adages that coincide with that. You know, the loudest the squeaky wheel gets the with the hammer, the something about the nail getting the hammer or some shit. You know what I mean? There are shit out there for for that. When you are an obnoxious person who is being obnoxious, I know we always say, "Oh well, violence ain't the answer." Actually, sometimes it is. Now, I'm not talking about violence like lethal violence, like crippling violence. Type of violence that leaves somebody maimed physically, maybe emotionally, maybe, but definitely not physically. If you're being an obnoxious person, you are asking for violence against you. I mean, how is that? How is that not understood by this generation? I mean, I think every other generation gets that. You have a responsibility to yourself and the people around you to not fucking be an asshole. And basically, being an asshole is unapologetically being obnoxious. You know what I mean? That's the word of the day. Obnoxiousness, man. I can't stand it. The reason why me and Buddy got in a little heated conversation because I was telling him about, like, when it comes to like gay people or whatever who decide that they're going to throw their gayness all on everybody's face and do all that crazy shit, like act like every day is a parade and shit. Fuck that guy, man. Not fuck him, but you know what I mean. Beat beat the fuck out of him. You know what I mean? He's obnoxious. He's a fucking asshole. He's loud. He's making everybody uncomfortable. He is choosing to be on everybody's shit list. So therefore, he's choosing violence. you know what I mean? Like if you think that you have the right and you have the right to just inconvenience everybody around you, you need your ass whooped. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and try to make it seem like it's some sort of scientific philosophical type of situation. No, motherfucker, if you are okay with inconveniencing and making everybody feel uncomfortable and just being a straight asshole to everybody, you need your ass whooped. Straight up. Now that doesn't go just for gays. It was just the conversation we were having. I feel the same way about. I'm black. I feel the same way about niggas. I can't stand a loud ass, stupid ass nigga, man. I don't like them. You know what I mean? Chris Rock said it perfectly. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't like niggas neither. They fuck up the whole situation. They're all in the community fucking shit up, talking about no snitching and shit. Yeah, so they can stay being niggas all the time. And just like going up in your shit and fucking doing dumb shit. The only people talking about no snitches, motherfuckers doing something that's wrong, nigga. I don't like them. I don't appreciate them. There's been times in my heart I've thrown parties in my own heart when I see them get it. I'll just put it that way. We could talk the same thing about race. Every group of people has a version of themselves, or those individuals who are fucking obnoxious assholes asking for an ass whooping. Obnoxious assholes asking for an ass whooping. AAAAW, ain't that what it is? Obnoxious. How you spell obnoxious? Is that with an O or an A? I don't know. It's a vowel. So obnoxious assholes looking for ass whooping, man. Like that's the word. That's the slogan of the day. Obnoxious assholes looking for an ass whooping, and I just think that as Americans, we don't need a law or anything written down to understand this as a people. I think if we just come together and our efforts against obnoxious assholes looking for an ass whooping, we can solve the problem by assigning individuals who are part of the people who are not being assholes to fuck that dude up, to beat the shit up of that fucking woman, child, or whatever. They all deserve it. Ass whoopings for obnoxious assholes. That's what I'm calling for. All right? If you can't be quiet in a movie theater, which nobody goes to anymore, so there's no way you can be offended at that, because anybody listening to this ain't been to a movie theater since 2000 and I don't know. There's too many zeros in the year that you've been in that bitch. Well, it's
We've
still
been there before. Look, within the last month, and we're actually going back.
And y'all was by yourselves. Y'all was the only motherfuckers.
It was full.
It wasn't even a theater at that point. You was renting a big room with a TV.
No, it was actually full sitting. Actually, when we went the last time.
Which one?
I think the one that we what movie was that? I can't remember what movie it was. It's the last movie we went to the movie. It was a full theater.
Okay, so
Yeah, it might have been.
Well, that's okay. Well, it's fine. Y'all like to go to movies, I guess. But my thing is, would you want to fucking go to a movie and have an obnoxious asshole looking for an ass whoop and ruin your fucking experience, or would you want that motherfucking to be invited out to the alley somewhere and get his head stomped off? Like, he don't have to die. I'm not talking about killing anybody. I'm just talking about beating the shit out of motherfuckers who fucking who make everybody else around them feel whose intention is to make people around them feel uncomfortable. I mean, like which one would you rather have? That person feel free to do that shit, or have somebody take a fucking something up against us something? You know what I mean? Like, it's just what I'm saying.
Right. I agree with you on a lot of sense when it comes to that. Like, I think for real, like, I mean, when you have people that their intentions is to go out and annoy people on purpose, yeah, that's a problem. I don't know about beating their asses all the time, but
But
they need to
how
be
are they going to
checked.
learn?
They need
How
to
do
be
you
checked.
check? See, this is what I'm talking about. In every other generation, we all know what check means. Like check
Right.
means checking
I mean,
your ass into the
well,
fucking ground
well, I mean, okay, so
or
it
wall.
depends on okay, so like it really depends on the scenario. So like a person just being them in a scenario,
No,
you're gonna just beat them up for being them, right? So
yeah.
like this is what I'm saying. Like we didn't
Well,
beat up
okay,
people
wait,
just at random. Do you get what I'm saying? Like
but that's
because
not random.
they were annoying
Yeah,
or because they were, you know what I'm saying? That
that's not
wasn't the
random
reason.
though.
That's
What
if
I'm,
they well, okay, well, I mean, like I said it
it's very
random. This
right,
and that was wrong choices of words. But
right.
so we didn't beat up people because they were annoying.
I think we did.
I didn't.
Think
So
I
like I
really,
think it
I
just all
really
depends.
we did.
I beat up people that if they came to me and they offended me in a way, like they usually when we were growing up, we had to, hey, I wanted you to hit me first because I wasn't gonna get in trouble. But because I defended myself, right? So it's a but being annoying, that's what a little brother or a little sister does. Like
Yeah,
this is
and
what
you know what you know what you do with your little brother, little sister? You smack them up a little bit.
well, I mean,
This
it's
is
some
just human
sense,
nature.
but
This
you
is just
don't.
human nature. When you're being obnoxious, the way you learn not to be obnoxious, you get a little physical punishment to let you know, hey, I can't keep doing this shit. Because
I get it.
if you're being obnoxious and then someone else is being obnoxious with you, you're basically getting what you want out of it because you're getting the attention. You know, the only attention that an obnoxious person doesn't like is a physical harmful one. That's the only attention that they don't like. And that's the type of attention that you need to give them so they say, oh, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Hey, if I'm
No,
around
maybe
this
that's the attention
motherfucker,
they
I
want
probably,
too.
huh?
Maybe the physical attention is what I mean. Either way,
Very,
it's still attention.
a very small
You're still
percentage,
getting the attention.
a very small percentage
But yeah, I mean, like I said,
will
it's still
actually,
attention seeking. I feel like ignoring them and not even paying attention to their
that's
bullshit
no,
sometimes is the
you
the
give them what
best
they want.
answer.
Because
I mean,
you give them what you want. But the fact if you're going to allow someone who's again their intention is to annoy and to inconvenience everybody else around them, and you ignore them and allow them to continue to do it, they're just having fun. They're just gonna keep on doing it. And then when you give them the intention of of going back and forth with them, now they're having more fun. The only time when they're not having fun is when they're getting their ass kicked. I'm telling you, like no regular obnoxious motherfucker enjoys getting their ass kicked. Nobody that's not a natural thing. Most
we're gonna have to
motherfuckers
agree to disagree on it though. Yeah, so because
I mean
I see what you're saying. I get like nobody likes ignoring people, like people that are like trying to purposely piss you off.
Nobody likes annoying people, and annoying people don't like to get their ass whooped. Straight up, you got certain individuals, I guess you could say, but you got certain individuals on each side. The generally speaking, majority of people do not enjoy getting their fucking ass whooped. That's just it's just
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know
No,
what I
I
mean?
mean that's anybody. That's gonna be anybody, but it should never.
So
I think for me is the way I look at it. It should never end up in violence. That's
I
why I
don't.
said we would
That's fine.
disagree
Yeah,
because it should never be. Because I should never. If I feel like I'm gonna put my hands on you, I'm going to remove myself from you, and that's just
all
it.
fine. But the fact still remains that in history, in every generation, there's always been that option. There's always been that option. You know, if you want to pretend like, oh well, everybody was always talking everything out, and that's how all conflicts, got
Oh yeah, no, most definitely not.
absolutely not, right?
Yeah,
so
most definitely not.
the sentiment still stands. Obnoxious motherfuckers need to get hands on them. I mean, it's the same thing with parenting. You know, I told because that whole conversation came up when it comes to how you parent. Somebody buddy tried to tell me, you should never put your hands on a child. You should never put your hands on, never ever put your hands on a child. Well, if that was true, then there's a lot of people who would disagree, who not only disagree, but in their disagreement is the evidence that that's not true. Some people, not just children, Some people only respond to physical correction. Some people only respond to physical correction. So some people need to be physically corrected, and that goes with children also. When I was as I was growing up, I can count on one hand how many times I actually got a spanking. I didn't need very much. I just needed just enough to keep me in line and under my parents' control. And when I look back on it, you're damn right. I am very, very appreciative of it, because I see saint people just like me who didn't have that shit, and a lot of them are in situations that I would never want to trade with them in. A lot of them I'm not the most by any stretch. I'm not the most emotionally healthy person or whatever. But if I were to compare, there's plenty people, more people. I put it that way, more people that I grew up with who did not have that type of old school mentality and old school parenting, who are literally dead, in jail, or in fucked up situations that they'll never see the outside of. I'm a firm believer that some people, including children, need physical correction.
That's why they created jailhouses and stuff
right,
like that.
so
So like it's like the punishment system, and
it doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like
I don't know, because when you get in jail, you get beat up. So like so like you still getting the correction. You're just getting it from somebody that necessarily is in the same scenario as you.
A dose of reality. You know what I mean?
It is a dose of reality. I just, like I said, I think for me, in my eyes, like I get what you're saying, because absolutely, I think as a kid, if I didn't get some of those ass whoopings, I would have thought that it was okay to continue to do some of the shit. So I get it. I get that to a certain extent. I just have to look at it as the full spectrum, because it's so many kids that don't need the ass whooping.
This is off the rails, and of course I'm going more in an extreme direction, but this is all kidding aside, this is on the spectrum. This is what I'm talking about. Is that
Pornhub?
Oh Jesus! Okay. Where the hell were we going with that?
That's why you need physical. You're not that type of. Shut the fuck up. Right. So, but that is definitely the spectrum. Is that because okay? I'll just say this and I'm done. Yo, on a serious fucking thing. Yo, when me and Buddy had that conversation. Me and Buddy at work, when we was having a conversation, I was trying to explain to him that parents are are being criticized and being criminalized for doing things that couldn't be a benefit to their specific child. If you take away the option of not physically correcting your child, then that means that if you have a child who doesn't respond to anything else, you are condemning them to a state of mind that's going to be detrimental to themselves and everyone else around them, and as they get older and become adults who do the same. So what I'm saying is, of course, in my family, it's never been the first option. It's never been the first option. It should never be your first option. It should never be the first place that you fucking go. This is common knowledge and common sense that was very common in the 2 generations before us. You know, this whole fucking our whole human experience on this planet, majority of the time, that is common knowledge. That is common fucking sense until we reach the fucking millennial age, and now we want to rewrite fucking reality. You know, that's where my frustration comes from. Not everything's black and white. Not everything is left and right. Not everything is 2 fucking sides. You know what I mean? There's a middle fucking ground there, buddy. That's a real spectrum. You son of a bitch. I'm done.
Fuck off.
Hey, you just got hit in the face with the Government Cheese Party Podcast crew. Hey, and you know what time it is. It's what's on CJ's mind. Tell him what it is on the Government Cheese Party Podcast.
All right, y'all. What's up? What's up? What's up? This is your girl CJ. What's up? What y'all doing? All right, so welcome in. Is that Lori over there on that QR over there? Hey, Lori. All right, sorry. Sorry, little break there. So you guys, I don't know what to think about this. I don't know what to think about this at all. So there's a TikToker out here that slammed Oprah Winfrey and The Rock for a cheap donation to Maui, you guys. For a cheap donation to Maui. And when I first read that, I was just like, I mean, they donated. So why, are we talking about it? But as I'm
Cheap
reading in
thrills.
what? All right. So either way, Oprah Winfrey and Dwayne The Rock Johnson came together to publicly share a donation box they created for the people of Maui. And although it sounds kind of helpful for the community that lost everything, TikTok user, and I'm gonna blank that name out because I'm not gonna. One of a TikTok user stitched together his thoughts and their actions. He says he began to stitch. Who the hell are they talking to? Who are they talking to? And the TikToker continues to respond, rich people be killing me. Man, and they ain't even regular rich. This is rich as hell, rich as fuck. Like, this is crazy. All connections and resources they got. 10 people in their contact list alone definitely has more money than most of the world. What the fuck are they asking for money for? So and that's not even all of it. I can keep on going, y'all, but I don't know if I want to. I feel like um just because another person is rich, the fact that they even did anything at all is, I mean, this is what we're talking about when it comes to the ways of the old world, right? The ways of how when we were growing up, what things would be okay and what things would not be okay. The fact that they donated anything at all was going towards the cause. That's money that they've earned. So why is it that they're deemed, because of the fact that they're rich, to have to hand out money?
Oh, is that a real question?
Yeah, that's a real question. Why is it that they're deemed to hand out money?
Well, as a
You want to go? I mean,
go ahead.
I feel like, all right. So this is part of the issue that goes on right now, or for a while now. It's the sense of entitlement. It's a sense of not appreciating anything that uh, even a rich person like Dwayne the Rock Johnson and Oprah Winfrey would do even on their normal day. They're going out of their way, regardless of however much it is. They're still giving what they can give to the
Right.
people in
I
that
mean,
type of
and it's
disaster.
not like little itty bitty money. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like, they donated $10 million together.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like $10 million. So, like, let me just say that I feel like they done enough. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I just wanted to put them
and
dollar amount out
and
there.
and Lori also said pretty much. I really think that they were trying to give others a chance to donate, and and be a part of the support.
Right, exactly. But they, instead of them being applauded for the fact that they even took the opportunity to be able to put it out there, and with their names connected to it alone, it's going to get some type of support,
In
right?
that part, before I pass it over to Dave, um, there's there's again a sense of entitlement and the sense of,
Mhm.
well, when I look at a celebrity, the celebrity needs to give even more than what the normal person would give.
Mhm.
No, not true at all, because even when the celebrity still gives that certain amount to a disaster, to a charity, to a certain thing, it's still significant enough to make that difference, regardless of however much that you think that celebrity should give. You're not entitled to that.
Right.
Because again, it's not your money, it's their money that they're giving out
Mhm.
of their own,
Facts.
giving their own personal time
All facts.
to
Right.
give, to support, or to give in a disaster.
Right.
Right.
So I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I'm gonna play devil's advocate on this one because I agree. But the other side of this is when if you are part of a community, you claim to be part of a community at least, right?
Right.
And then you make a substantial amount of money that is something that only people could even. Some people can't even dream of how much money that you actually have to that's disposable to you. It is very. It can be upsetting to someone who is sitting in a situation that's part of who again is part of the community, part of your community, and and the numbers of what they are charitable, what the same things that they champion themselves for, knowing how, putting their numbers on the Forbes list and all this shit. You're known for having this crazy amount of money, and then it looks like a nickel that you throw a certain way. It's almost like a shot, not a shot, but it's like a family member pitying you. You know what I mean? That's where that, I think that's where that feeling comes from. It's just that, like, okay, you got billions on billions, and y'all came together for a couple of for 10 million. It's like, well, all right, cute, all right, thanks, I guess. And plus it's people who aren't benefiting from that actual charity anyways. So in that regard, I would say that it really don't. I don't know. I don't think nobody really fucking cares. What these people are saying. It's if the person that's the recipient of it acts like that. That's a problem. But if someone on the outside saying, yeah, well, that I mean, I'm not impressed. Well, then that's fair. You're not impressed. Keep it moving, because nothing else really involves you anyways.
But one of those
So,
things that make it to where it makes it messed up is that this TikToker in particular is a big name TikToker, so that means that it's reaching mainstream.
it don't matter.
And
I mean, it still goes to the point. It's just goes to the point that you say what you say, and you stand on it. But the fact is, if it's, and I think it is. I'm not saying if, but just go with me. If it really is coming from a place, a good place in someone's heart, Oprah Winfrey and The Rock or whatever, to do this, then whatever backlash they get from these people who aren't part of the transaction anyways, it doesn't matter to them.
Right.
So why should it matter to anybody else?
Right.
Yeah, and if it does, then fuck it. I mean,
right.
That
means that they're necessarily just as wrong as the person that went out and said it. I feel like there's a lot of backlash now, but I was like, it was one of those things that was just like, you privileged motherfucker. Like, I feel like, this world, that's when these are the type of people that I want to beat the fuck out of. So like, I get this, but like, I think it's because they really are like, I mean, it's just like, what makes you say what somebody else can take out of their pockets?
Right.
Like, I feel like if they wanted to give $5 to the cause, they did something more than how much did you give? Because I don't see how much it's saying that you gave. You mad because they're going around and they're asking for donations, and you got to think about it. Their class of friends are so much higher than any of ours ever will be.
Right.
So if they're going around asking for donations, and when they feel like they could have pulled more out of their pockets,
right? You're coming from a place of trying to rationalize this, when I think it's obvious it's not coming from a rational place. Again, it goes to my point. When you speak irrationally, you're being obnoxious. So therefore, you deserve what?
Goofy.
I'll just leave it at that.
But I mean, so you said
Great
he
point.
was disgusted at watching those who was making a scene over them. Like, I mean, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I feel like it's just really disgusting that there's people out here in the world that really like they want to run down these people that went out there. They have made these millions. Get out there and make your millions.
And that's the thing though, because it makes you angry, but reality is doesn't matter. I mean, because you talk about people who have this money, who have this way of making money, they don't fucking care. You know what I'm saying? Like, what this TikToker saying ain't affecting them in the least, you know?
Yeah, and he goes in the state, if you go further into the conversation, he says not that it's not appreciated, but it's not
not enough.
But it's that not a fucking slap in the face. He questioned. He says
it's a pity thing.
Yeah, like let's just say they decided to give 100 million each. They could both give 100 million each and nothing about their lives would change.
Yeah.
That's about how much money they have.
Yeah.
So and I get that, but his heart is in the right spot, and I get that.
But he's obnoxious.
But he's being very, like, I mean, for me, I feel like there's a maturity gap there, and I feel like there's something that's not there that he needs to learn, and real
quick, one of the main characteristics of obnoxiousness is immaturity.
But see, what do you get in immaturity? How do you learn from that immaturity spot? And I don't think, like you said, it's not an ass
it is though. It is though.
It is though. I feel like sometimes some of these people don't have the right
they don't have a big brother
in front of them. Yeah,
they don't have a big brother.
They don't
have
the right people that they don't have the right people kind of guiding them. They don't have the right mentors in their lives. Because I feel like, and even if they did, they're not listening very well. You know what I'm saying?
So what do you do?
It's
you
still
slap them up a little bit.
No, that doesn't always work though.
I'm not saying always. I'm talking for this specific motherfucker.
Well, I mean, he might be one of those ones that slapping up don't break your work. That it makes him go into a shell. It could be.
That's sometimes what you need.
No.
I mean, it's the betterment of everybody around you.
If they have the influence, right? If they have the influence that they have in their obnoxious, could you imagine the influence they can have when they start doing the right thing?
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, it goes both ways. So you don't want them to go into a shell.
I kind of do though. I kind of do because what I'm saying is because if you don't have it in you to figure out that you're being an obnoxious asshole looking for ass whooping, then you're basically just using your power.
He wasn't really looking at it. I mean, when it's certain things like that, not everybody learns it at the same time. So, like,
I bet this motherfucker's like 30. You talking about a middle-aged some bitch probably. And this,
I don't know. I think he's a pretty young TikToker. So, like, I mean, just going into it, I feel like there's certain things that are not being taught at home. They're not being taught in the school buildings. The government most definitely doesn't have the parents back. So, like, it's so many things that need to change and uproot in America. And until we get there, we're going to continue dealing with people like this TikToker. That's all I got for today, y'all. Thanks for listening.
Whoa.
Damn, Jay.
Hey, you just got hit in the face with the Government Cheese Party podcast crew.
All right, as we come closer to the end of the show, I want to thank Dave the Headache and CJ for their segments. Their segments is pretty much
obnoxious assholes looking for
it. I finally realized, like, after Dave the Headache's off the rail segment, I really feel like he was being very, very aggressive at that point.
I was being transparent.
No,
I was
are
speaking-
you sure you're being
I was speaking
transparent with that?
truth.
Are you sure? Are you sure about that?
Thank you.
Yeah, I had to realize. I was like, wait a minute.
You see me pull it off my ear. Like,
I was like,
damn.
holy shit!
I just,
I take
think
that out of there too.
I think we all just need to just take some time and consult our consciousness, right? And just understand for us, and just come to terms.
I'm
that
not about to fight
as
everybody that's
women-
obnoxious. I'm not gonna do it.
I bet you would if you had the option. I bet you fucking would. If the option was there,
You bet you fucking
if the
would.
option was there, I'm telling you, most people would say, most people be looking. You know how everybody gets nervous or when someone loud comes in because they're like, okay, we got to deal with this. Everybody be waiting for that motherfucker to come in.
I guess maybe because I'm one of those people that kind of speak my truth in the moment. So like the obnoxious people coming in, I'm that person that will walk up to them and be like, "Hey, dude, quiet down." But then maybe don't. That's if they don't, then I remove myself from the scenario. There's nothing worth me going to jail for.
That's what I'm saying.
So
if you take away that risk, what you're left with is people. Is obnoxious people afraid to be obnoxious, and I mean that's what we need.
Well, I mean,
in some sense they are though, right?
No, in America, give me one example of an obnoxious person who's afraid of being obnoxious.
There's a couple of them. Like I think. Well, I mean, right? They learned they lesson real fast.
Nashville, bitch. What are you talking about?
They learned their lessons with a damn cheer. Okay, so look, no,
that was
Georgia, wasn't it? Was it Georgia? Was it Alabama?
Alabama. That was Alabama.
It was Alabama.
Yeah,
they learned their lessons with a cheer.
Somebody came out with a steel cheer.
But what I'm saying is like this. Like, let me just say this. So, like for real, like there's ways around all of that, y'all.
Not always.
There's ways around it. There's ways around it. I don't care what every situation. There's ways, even if that means you just, start check them. There's something now when they swing at you. Then at this point, it's not you just random. Like I wouldn't even say random. It's not you just beating their ass. Okay, right. It's you defending yourself at that point. Now I can validate. I can see that. I can see that working all the way out, right? Because I will shirt check somebody in a minute. But when I say that I'm not gonna just come up and just randomly beat the hell out of somebody, and I'll keep on want to say randomly because it feels random.
It's not random.
It feels random.
It's very specific.
But I mean, it's people that are not necessarily annoying to everybody, but could be very fucking annoying to me. So I'm just gonna go beat up everybody that I feel is annoying, and that makes it my opinion, saying that my opinion matters more than somebody else's does.
Now,
you get what I'm saying? Like I could go into detail with it, but it's just like.
But that's an extreme, though.
Hey.
Okay, sorry about that, Psycho. I'm sorry, Psycho.
I mean, we completely just dove directly back into it.
I'm
and
sorry.
Like,
I know it's habit.
It's a serious fucking point. America has to have these conversations.
Well, they can have their conversation on their own. I don't want to have that conversation.
Yeah, Psycho Jay said he wants to go for it.
You're being obnoxious.
So, all right. So I know we had this conversation off air, and I'm still hung up on that. By the way,
what?
Because watching this Hispanic guy eating those beans out of that can.
Wait a minute.
Without no microwave.
I was not there for this conversation.
No. We had this conversation.
Nope.
with Aaron.
He was here. He was here. He was here. Aaron was here too.
You was talking about you was talking to yourself.
Yeah. Light skinned brother was here too. Yeah.
Yeah. We had this discussion, and there was judgment on Aaron's end. Like there was complete judgment. Like he
says close out. He has full discernment for those people.
Full discernment. And then I asked, well, does anybody eat ravioli out of the can?
And I said yes.
And then CJ said yes. And then I was just like, sometimes I'm on the fence about that. And then
I like ravioli.
Aaron again judged me.
I don't like that you have like actual thought the actual thought goes in the comment. Like, hey, do I want ravioli out of a can? I've never had
It's
that
not
thought.
even like a thought for me. It's just more so of a lazy moment that I don't feel like taking it out.
It's
of
like,
the
do I
fucking can.
really want
Like,
to put?
because I
it's
can
like-
eat it either way. It's cooked.
Yeah, it's like at this point, like, do I really want to put this ravioli in the bowl and put it in the microwave? Like, no, it's
I
too
want to
much
dirty
work.
a dish.
Yeah,
Do I want to dirty a dish today?
No, why?
that.
Now there are certain things I will not eat out of a can, and beans is one of them.
Why? What's your deal with cans? What is your can phobia?
Okay, so let me just say,
phobia
cans
is
can.
because of the Mexican.
Oh,